This week in the Restroom, we get our DCEU on for the worst comic book adaptation of 2016. We've got CGI blackheads, hula-hooping villains, superheroes with lame powers, cosplay costuming, and a barely on-screen Jared Leto in a Joker performance so bad it makes Halle Berry's Catwoman look like Michelle Pfeiffer's Catwoman. It's Suicide Squad. And before we flush it, we're gonna take it out and play with it a little. Restroom Cinema. We're here to flush it, so you don't have to see it. Greetings, everyone. I am Honor Knight, your head cinematic flusher right here in the Restroom. As always, I'm joined by my lovely co-cinematic flushers, Midwest movie mogul Colleen Griffin.
Hey.
Raging Buddha B-movie queen Nora Crest.
What's up?
And sassy cinephile Sarah Polton.
Hi.
Also joining us as part of our extended co-flushing team this time out is one of the contributors for the Brotherhood of Evil Geeks. EvilGeeks.com reports on all the latest geek-related news found in movies, TV, games, and comics. Please welcome back C-Mart.
Hey now.
Let's kick off this flush with a round of Thunder Dump. Thunder Dump. I'll put 60 seconds on the Restroom clock, and we're going to go around the cinematic bowl to see who has the worst alternate title for this week's cinematic turd. The loser will then get to read the RSS, that's Restroom Stall Stats, in a funny voice of my choosing. Here we go. Griff.
The Avengers.
Crest.
Go Gadget Deadshot.
Not bad. Polton.
Suicide Squad goals.
C-Mart.
I'm pretty sure Ben Affleck wants to commit suicide if he can't stop being Batman soon enough.
Oh, not bad. I had suicide as painless, but this film is not. Griff.
Suicide Squad, brought to you by Ed Hardy.
Crest.
National Lampoon Shootout Bonanza.
Polton.
Wild Wild West Wing.
Not bad. C-Mart.
We should have been nicer to Superman.
I had a Dollar Tree Villain Squad. Griff.
Hancock.
Oh, I don't know. Crest.
DC Comics ran out of good ideas.
That's shitty. Polton.
I've seen this movie twice and I understand it less.
Oh, that's really that's bad too. And that is time, folks. That is time. We are out. Oh man, I don't know. It's a tough call between Polton and Crest, but Polton's got it this time. Yeah, sorry. You didn't stick the landing. You didn't stick the landing. All right, Miss Polton, I'm putting up your stats right now. There they are. There you go, Polton. There's your stats, and the voice you're going to do it in is that of a basement-dwelling nerd who actually liked this film. Have at it.
Well, Suicide Squad is a 2016 American hero film based on a DC Comics anti-hero team of the same name. It's the third installment in the DC Extended Universe. The film was written and directed by David Ayer and stars an ensemble cast consisting of Will Smith, Jared Leto, Margot Robbie. Oh god, a lot of people. Some women. The Suicide Squad is a secret government agency led by Amanda Waller, who recruits imprisoned supervillains who can execute dangerous black ops missions to save the world from a powerful threat in exchange for leaner sentences. Suicide Squad premiered in New York City on August 1st, 2016. It was released in the United States on August 5th in 2016 in 2D and 3D. Makes me nauseous. An IMAX 3D. Oh god. Film grossed over 745 million worldwide, making it the 10th highest grossing film in 2016. Generally received negative reviews, which I don't agree with. Who criticized the plot and directing. Leto and Robbie's performances received praise. All right, I'm so done.
There you go, folks. That is your Restroom Stall Sex. Great job, Miss Polton. Couldn't get a bigger nerd.
I almost spit Coca-Cola all over my microphone.
I don't think I've ever seen a comic book film that takes a bigger shit on its fan base. It's like the equivalent of making a Star Wars film, but with a bunch of porn stars.
It has nothing to do with the actors. It has everything to do with the directing.
Well,
and
yeah,
the
that's what I'm
writing.
saying, though. I'm saying Warner Brothers
Yeah.
took a big shit on the fan base.
There is, when you think about it, there really is no story to this movie at all. It's set up, and then, oh shit, the setup kind of went wrong. And then that's the whole movie.
I saw this in theaters,
I did
and
too.
I was
Ooh.
like,
too.
yeah, that made no fucking sense. So I was like, all right,
Yeah.
this time I'm going to get it. No, it makes less sense.
Mel Gibson was just announced a couple weeks ago. Might be on board. They're courting him to direct the sequel.
They
So
slapped their fans in their face, and now they're slapping decency in the face.
exactly.
Seriously, God forbid they actually hire, I don't know, a woman to direct.
Well, I think if Gibson.
This was such a sexist movie. Like,
Oh, yeah,
every
we'll talk
line
about
was
that.
like, "Woman, get me a sandwich. Slap her on
Yeah.
the ass. That'll fix it." Like,
And I don't know if Margot Robbie's, underwear masquerading as shorts could have been
No.
any shorter.
She had to suffer through this movie, but the happy ending is she's getting her own spin-off, and I think it's going to be directed by a woman.
No, it's directed by David
One-
Ayer.
Yeah.
I think.
bubble burst.
But honestly, if Mel Gibson directed it, I think they ought to call it Suicide Squad 2 Sugar Tits Boogaloo. Huh? That's not bad.
Suicide Squad.
That's not bad. All right. Was anyone else actively booing when the DC logo showed up on screen? The only time audiences get excited for a Warner Brothers DC movie is when the word Lego is used before the title.
Do you
Yeah.
think the Lego Batman is what made Ben Affleck want to stop being Batman?
I think so.
Why?
Because it's a better Batman.
You know why I think he doesn't want to be
he's
Batman?
So
I think
sad
it's too,
Batman.
I think it's
As
just
the,
too much fucking physical work for him. I mean, to keep that cuttedness up. I mean,
Well, he's
gotta
not
work
out
like
yet.
fucking
He's-
4 hours a day.
He's not out yet, but
Yeah.
as a,
Throw out a semi controversial opinion as the lone comic nerd here. I didn't hate Ben Affleck as Batman.
no, I didn't hate him either. I didn't hate him.
No,
In,
I
Batman
mean,
Not
versus
the lone
Superman.
comic book
I hated
collection.
him in
have
this
quite a
film.
comic book collection, but I'm just
Alright.
saying,
Okay,
I
alright.
actually like Ben
Yeah.
Affleck as
Whew.
Batman.
Black Site. Film opens in Louisiana prison where we'll introduce about 24 characters while someone fumbles through a classic rock station trying to find the right song for each one. Man.
The soundtrack of this movie makes Forrest Gump look subtle.
Guys,
I was gonna say that was one of the highlights of the movie. Was actually the
Exactly.
I
Well,
was
no,
annoyed.
this is what happens when you spend your writing budget on music rights.
I used to go to the gym at work, but one of my coworkers would go to the gym and stand around and play music on his phone on the speaker, and it was like basically this track list. Like, if you want to know what songs they play, imagine what kind of like white guy that just stands around the
Oh
gym
my God.
playing
Jimmy
music
Fallon?
on speaker. This
Jimmy,
is the music.
Jimmy Fallon goes to your gym.
Yeah.
only my friends call me Floyd. What they should be calling Will Smith is making a bad choice for choosing his own film projects. Between this mess and Collateral Beauty, I'm surprised he's filming Bad Boys 3 right now to save his career. This one fares better than Collateral Beauty and After Earth and some of this other stuff that he has done. But again, he's so mismanaged in this film in terms of the way it was shot and filmed that he undercuts his own performance.
Yeah, it's a greatest hits Will Smith. He was not great, but he has not been this enjoyable on screen in a very long time.
I'll agree with that.
I'll give
but,
you that. Yeah,
but
I
it's still
definitely
just a
agree with
great. It's a greatest hits, and he has, like I say, very little of them in this film. And there's more than some others, but we'll talk about it. You are really in bad shape upstairs, lady. And that's Ike Barinholtz saying that. As writer-director David Ayer, when he was forced to cram 10 pounds of supervillain shit into a 5-pound bag with only 6 weeks to write the turd. We'd like to forgive him that he only had 6 weeks to write this turd. You can't write something decent in 6 weeks. They obviously just shot the first draft he wrote. Because it takes a very long time to write a screenplay, folks. Everybody thinks he's a professional writer. He can crank that shit out. You can't do it. 6 weeks, you can barely get a first draft out. So, not to say he's off the hook, because he's not. It's still a terrible film.
Yeah, I think there are other forces at work in like really, really screwing this movie up. I mean, who knows if it could have been good from the get-go, but
No.
I think it's one of those cases where the studio got involved, like kind of panicked and made changes on top of an already like maybe not.
Yeah, but
great
the other thing
script.
is you have to realize, and looking at the characters you have in Suicide Squad, had they gone full Deadpool and done a rated R
Well,
film,
that would have been
they
the
would have
good
had
film,
a
right.
way better film. Because
Yeah.
these characters are rated R characters. They're
Yes.
not PG-13 fucking characters.
That is just a whole lot of pretty and a whole lot of crazy. And also a whole lot of funny, the way Margot Robbie knocks herself out on the jail bars around the 3-minute mark. I thought that was okay.
I can relate to
Little,
this whole scene.
Yeah. Yeah, this sight gag brought to you by Benny Hill. I thought that was all right. Decked out in trailer park tattoos and a horrific blonde wig, Robbie resembles a carny worker who just woke up from her heroin fix and realized she had to open up the funhouse. I didn't really like this incarnation of how... the aesthetic that David Ayer went with this. Not so much in this scene because I thought
I thought it was
it's
totally spot on. She was the only one that had like
super
spot
grungy.
on costuming.
yeah.
She was a little hoard up.
It's a little
I mean,
carny.
I
I
mean,
mean,
it's
like,
is
yeah.
hoard up.
She is hoarded up. but
Superhero
this was
hoard
at
up.
like a 10. I don't know.
Wow.
Maybe I would have put her at like an 8.
They cranked
I
it
don't
to
know.
11. They
Yeah,
went too
yeah.
far.
Can I just remind everybody, Halle Berry's Catwoman?
The world changed when Superman flew across the sky. So did the DCEU, and Warner Brothers hired Zack Snyder to take a big shit on the whole roster of iconic heroes. So there's your, yeah. I think ever since he's been around, except for Man of Steel, which I will let that one slide. Since he's been around, and he's gonna quietly go away. In case you are quietly, as I'm slurring already. In case you're not wondering, after Justice League comes out, he's gonna be gone. They're only keeping him around till that movie gets released. So. No, he will. They're already kind of moving his shit out. Suicide Squad. Overproduced title card for this turd shows up on screen around the 4-minute mark, just in case you thought you were still watching Batman vs Superman. All right.
I like that movie. You're just hating on
it. All right, Chris, come on.
No, I'm sorry. Nora.
There's nothing redeeming about that.
There is not. It's a terrible film.
No, Wonder Woman.
Oh, yeah, Wonder Woman shoehorned in at the back end of the movie.
And Jesse Eisenberg as Lex.
No, he's terrible. All right, we're not. Look, that's a whole separate podcast. I'm not. No, he was. He did not make sense. He was terrible in that fucking. We're not going to talk about. All right.
Jesse Eisenberg is like a mutated version of Mark Zuckerberg.
I finally have them. The worst of the worst. Pull up a chair, kids, as we now stop the film cold for the next 15 painful minutes to introduce and reintroduce an assortment of DC losers that would make that fucking guy will make look way more exciting. God damn it! By adding BuzzFeed style video titles and stats for each one at the 5-minute mark. I don't know if it was funny reading it clear that way. I'm gonna go with it, but all right.
You need to send those to us so that we can keep reading for you when
I
you
know.
Like, do you have something called like the air up there or something?
I think the Don Sergio just kicked in. God damn it! And I'm
joke relay when like somebody screws up.
This is a hand off the baton.
Just cue to Benny Hill music. Deadshot, more like Dick Shot. Hey-o! All right, got that one out.
Don't forget his real name, Floyd Block.
Or like take a shot.
Oh, that's good. That's your drinking game, folks. I like that one. Hey, take a drink, folks, every time you hear one of the superheroes introduced, which is a lot. And you're not going to make it through the film.
Are you trying to kill people?
Yeah, I know.
Hello, the movie's called Suicide Squad.
So we should mention Amanda. This woman's name, I haven't really mentioned her yet, but her name is Amanda Waller. Viola Davis plays this character. She managed.
I'm sorry, I would watch an Amanda Waller movie.
Yeah, I don't know why I cut out her line.
She's basically playing the same character that she plays on How to Get Away with Murder. Basically, Elise Keating, not as a lawyer, as a government official.
She's a government official who starts a program or wants to start a program of the worst of the worst metahumans or supervillains. These guys really aren't supervillains at all, but to combat threats when the superhero Justice League is fucking around out in space. I don't know, doing some bullshit. So she produces a list, and she's doing like a pitch to these government guys in this restaurant, which is closed and they're eating meat or whatever. Why is Smith, so now this is his backstory, that's why we're talking about, and that's why I said, why is Smith decked out in a scuba suit like he's about to give a CPR class? I didn't like his costume at all. That stupid Halloween store mask that he wears occasionally.
It was like Dumbpool.
Yeah. Hey-o! All right.
Can I just say, as far as Deadshot's costumes go in the comic, that's probably the least goofy one. There's like one with a giant like brimmed hat, like a duster, and like it gets really bad. Yeah.
Okay. No, Deadshot is a terrible character.
Oh, you mean like Cam Newton's outfits in his press conferences?
Yeah, exactly. That's good.
The Cam Newton of DC Comics.
I just gave a tip to the right guy in Gotham City. Cue contractually obligated Ben Affleck to show up here in a Batman drive-by around the 8-minute mark. Does it come as any surprise that Affleck wants out of the sinking DCEU ship? This turn alone should have sent him running back into Kevin Smith's arms. He's really forced to be there. He doesn't look like he wants to be there. He's brought in to bring Deadshot.
He just looks sad and broken. Like,
he's in 2 scenes. The first is where he brings Deadshot down. That's part of the backstory. And later he has the scene with the Joker or Harley Quinn.
I feel like I'm gonna hear like a Lonely Island song about the sad.
So yeah, he may be leaving Batman.
I think that's sad though, because like we said earlier, I do enjoy him as Batman.
I like him, but I don't blame him for.
He would sign on for some more.
I don't know if he's going to stay now because I don't think he wants. He just doesn't want to do it anymore. I think Warner Brothers just throwing too many roadblocks for him to be creative to do it. So
yeah, I just feel sorry for him.
I don't have an issue with him doing it. I liked his performance. Not in this film, but I liked him in the other one. I would like to see what he would have done had he directed and wrote and done all that. And it's a shame that Warner Brothers has been dickholes about his handling of the material. But all right, this is how it goes, kid. This is what they want to do. All right, there's no Kevin Feige at the ship, guys. They keep pulling in people to kind of bring everything to a spearhead, and they can't do it for whatever reason. They cannot get their shit together over there. That's the biggest issue.
Yeah, the fact that they blocked him tells us that his script is probably good.
Harley Quinn? Wait, didn't we just meet Harley Quinn only a few minutes ago? I guess Warner Brothers is hoping everyone who saw this has Alzheimer's and will forget how bad this fucking movie is.
Because now you're getting her backstory. And you learn her real name, which is...
Harley Quinn's
Dr. Harley.
All right. For you fucking nerds out there, everybody knows who the hell that is. I don't have to mansplain everything.
Not everybody knows her.
Really? You think that's our core audience?
I should say nerdsplain. It's not really mansplaining. She was assigned to the clown himself. Cue the worst Joker character introduction ever captured on film. Yeah, here we go. Jared Leto looks like a meth addict who got a little crazy at the Halloween store at the 9-minute mark.
Who the Joker is.
No, he is not. This is no. Putting a grill on the Joker's teeth is like giving Batman a nose piercing. None of his character choices work.
Like if, the Joker was a character on Love and Hip Hop.
You're so right.
He was the white rapper trying to make it on Love and Hip Hop.
Just a fast forward to what's going to happen to Bieber in 10 years.
And maybe it is based on Bieber. Maybe that's the whole problem.
I love Jared Leto.
Really?
He was crazy.
No, he was not crazy enough.
Here's the thing. He made a big deal about this part, and there was a lot of articles about how he went there. But in every scene, he acts at a 10. There's no like ebb and flow. It's not like he starts at like a 4 and then explodes. Like every scene, he's just like, I'm gonna act the shit out of this.
Yeah, he's trying too hard.
So he was no range. Daniel Day-Lewis of the movie.
No, yeah.
He was so method. I mean, basically, Margot Robbie was terrified of him. She's like, I didn't actually meet Jared Leto till we were doing the press tour. He never showed up and never talked to anyone as himself for the entire filming.
Chris, you have Chris.
And he kept sending everyone used condoms with his semen in it.
I know.
Okay, but the difference is Daniel Day-Lewis doesn't necessarily brag the same way Jared Leto does.
When Daniel Day-Lewis does it, you get There Will Be Blood. Okay, when Jared Leto does it,
that was a piece of shit.
My milkshake says Jared Leto was terrible.
There will be blood, and that's the fucking milkshake.
All right, we're not.
And
Okay.
The milkshake did not bring Nora to the yard.
Yeah.
No.
You're a lucky man. You've got a bad bitch. Looks like she's performing inside a cheesy nightclub at a badly run Indian casino at the 11-minute mark.
It looks like a Pitbull video. It looks like a Pitbull video outtake.
Poor Common looks like somebody attacked him at a Home Depot with a staple gun. His face is all
in the dressing room, and he was like, "No, I need more tattoos."
Yeah, he looked like a complete idiot. He looked like a complete idiot. I can't swim. Quinn should have been killed instantly after being catapulted through the front windshield of Joker's ride. She's not a metahuman. Right? So basically, this flashback involves Batman taking down, really capturing just Harley Quinn and putting her in the same jail as Will Smith as in the beginning of the film. Joker escapes, of course, because he's Joker. Even if it's Jared Leto, he still escapes.
Oh my God, I'm sorry. I hated this performance so much.
Which one?
Because it was mediocre.
Oh, Joker? It's a terrible performance. He like Polton said.
No, it was
mediocre.
No, it was mediocre. It was mediocre.
He's out of 10 the entire time, and he never achieves that level of proper Joker. All right.
No, it was like he didn't embrace like any sort of like backstory. He was just like, I'm the Joker and embracing what the Joker is instead of like, who was the Joker before he became the Joker?
C-Mart saw the extended cut, and there are more Joker scenes, right? C-Mart?
Yeah.
Yes, there's a bit more with like the Joker and Harley. It doesn't really add much. There's like a scene where like they're kind of
Jesus.
Yeah, it's.
Then what's the fuck, guys? Really, this whole film. If you're gonna do an extended cut, just re-edit the film. The film need to be desperately re-edited. I don't know what cut you want to do, but apparently they had hours and hours of footage. If you're, why release a half? I don't want to get DCEU's.
Yeah, I feel like we got
their choices.
That was my biggest issue with the film was editing.
Editing's terrible in this, but it's just.
I feel like they made a choose your own adventure movie.
Or as the tabloids call him, Captain Boomerang. And then I wrote, ha 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 ha. Comes as no surprise that acting non-starter Jai Courtney will get to play someone whose superpower is throwing fucking boomerangs.
Can I just say one thing about Jai Courtney? He's actually from Sydney, and he has the worst Australian accent ever. It is actual Aussie, and he's like, yeah, everybody, I'm here to throw some boomerangs.
He is terrible. That is
No, I thought it was like if the Mad Max character was reimagined by South Park.
All right, Griffin with the win on that one. He is fucking terrible. All right, that's one guy.
Have those weird general sideburn
I know.
facial hair things, and the one gold tooth, and then he's got a thing for unicorns.
I know. We'll talk more about that.
Yeah.
We're just introducing
He
people.
looks like the guy you went to college with who was like always at the bar.
He reminds
he gambles a lot.
Yeah.
No, he reminds me of an ex-boyfriend.
Polton, how many drinks in before you think this guy was okay to date?
Oh, like.
Yeah.
One?
Yeah, one. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well, never mind.
Girl, I've already dated him. It's not.
We'll talk more about this fucking idiot.
I
But
probably
coming
have
back.
too. I just don't remember. I don't know.
I think we had to start a petition for him to just stop acting. I can't stand Jai Courtney. He's been terrible in just every film. No, he has. He's been terrible in every film.
He's been in some good stuff.
What?
Come on now.
Name one good film good performance he's done.
Spartacus.
Really?
Star.
Did you just say? I'm not. All right, let's keep moving. All right, we're gonna mute Griff's microphone
Come
for the
on
rest
now.
of.
He's not that bad.
He's
Okay,
terrible. Yeah.
Do it.
All right, in the streets they call him El Diablo. You know your comic book film sucks when it includes a gangbang version of a Drew Barrymore from Firestarter. The fuck is this guy? Jay Hernandez is decked out with so many tattoos he resembled the entire Day of the Dead parade.
That's because he's a fucking Mexican gangster from fucking L.A. That's what they look like.
No, they don't look like that.
I'm sorry.
Like
I
Aaron
live
Home.
in Southern California, and I've driven around those parts of Los Angeles, and yeah, that's what they fucking look like.
I'm gonna
not
take
an
issue with that.
exaggeration.
He's.
I mean, okay, Sean Spicer, don't doubt her.
Yeah.
That's it. Period.
Super soaker away.
This is my calm voice. They call him Killer Croc or Killer Crap, since the black dude from Pompeii looks like a talking turd that got pushed out of Godzilla's ass around the 16-minute mark. He is the black dude. He is the black.
Our Southern roots come out.
I know it's. I can't. No, I can't.
At least.
Hold
Could've
on.
gone with Mr. Echo from Lost.
I can't pronounce that.
No, that's why I said that. I can't pronounce that fucking guy's name. Okay, I'm not. He's a very good.
That's not.
I'm not even calling him that. Look, he's a very good actor. I like the guy. Okay, we all like the guy.
I ain't calling him that.
Welcome to
All right.
2017, folks.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
This is the segment of the show, kids, where we always call on honors racism,
I'm not-
homophobia, or misogyny. Tonight,
okay.
it's racism.
Ding! The wheel spins.
Drink.
And drink.
Yep.
Right.
You have to drink every time Honor says something offensive or he questions his sexuality.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Also, we are not liable, so
Yeah.
alcohol poisoning.
I love how my team backs me up on this. Okay, thanks, guys.
This is why you hired us for no money.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah, no
basically,
shit.
you
Don't tell
you
anybody
get
that.
what you pay for, Honor.
Yeah.
You get what you pay
Yeah.
for.
T's flat out terrible.
No. Here's how much you love him. On the Pompeii podcast, you called him Killer Croc the entire time.
See, well, there you go. So this works out. I'm actually just paying it back. So now I should call it.
So you respect him.
Well, wait. So Griff, what was his name in Pompeii? I'll just call him that for the rest of the show.
But I know Adewale is his first.
All right, Adewale or Ayawale. I don't know. All right, fine.
Adewale.
All right. Look, he's a very good actor. I don't want to like come off
He is
completely
an excellent
racist.
actor.
Guys, you could have gotten rid of Killer Croc and Boomerang, and I don't think anything would have changed. In
No,
the
it
film.
would. It still would have been a
They
shitty
added
movie.
Nothing.
I know.
I want to point out
was like gross.
The Pentagon. The building that's so identifiable it doesn't really need a title card, but we're going to give you one anyway since you'll probably be still recovering from the last 15 minutes of character introductions. Folks, that's 15 minutes right there. Not what we did. 15 minutes of the movie is just devoted to that section of just introducing fucking idiots that we're going to have to watch for the rest of the movie. Enchantress. Delevingne's transformation scene into the Enchantress around the 20-minute mark is easily, I think, the best single special effect in the CGI mess, despite the fact that the Enchantress looks like she just escaped from a kitchen fire inside of a rainforest cafe. Once you transformed, it wasn't that great, but...
How dare you? I love the rainforest.
I love that.
That's like one of the best jokes you've ever said.
Wow.
That's the best joke you've ever made.
Let's see. Okay, well, and that... when your witch is surrounded by a perpetual CGI fart cloud, you know you made a bad design choice.
Oh my god.
She looked...
She is the pig pen enchantress.
I like the smoky Enchantress. I think she looks really good there, but then she gets like a makeover.
Well, yeah,
through,
the makeover.
And like she wears this weird bikini, and she looks stupid as fuck.
Yeah, I know. The makeover's the problem.
Like Empress from the Neverending Story.
It's like a white girl trying to do Beyonce.
C-Mart, you're the resident nerd. Is this pretty much what the Enchantress looks like, comic-wise?
I gotta claim ignorance on this one.
Okay.
When it comes to DC stuff, it's not my area of specialty.
So glad we had you on the show then,
I'm with
as the
you
expert.
on that.
In my defense, like some of the characters they use for this are really obscure. Like
Okay.
El Diablo.
Oh yeah. Well, I know. We'll come back to him.
I mean, the obscurity factor is the same amount as in the Lego Batman movie, where they literally had all these weird bad guys like Condiment Man and all this other stuff. And at one point, somebody in the film says, aren't you just starting to like make shit up now? And they're like, no, these are actually all real. And they are. They're actually real bad guys from the Batman universe. And they are fucked up. Like, it's really bad.
Awesome.
Let's see what you can do. Because what this turd needed only 25 minutes in was a third introduction of Deadshot and his abilities. All right, guys, we get it already. So she gets okay to have this program activated. So she goes to round up all these fucking idiots who we just mentioned, plus 2 more that are coming. We only barely touched upon it, but all right. Y'all jokers must be crazy. Not as crazy as us for watching David Ayer take 30 minutes of screen time for repetitive character introductions and trying to pass off as cool and edgy. Comic books guys were never cool and edgy. They're simply cartoon porn for nerds who got beat up in gym class and grown men who still masturbate in their basements to Wonder Woman's ass.
I used to masturbate in the attic, okay? For your
information. C-Mart with the win. C-Mart with the win on that one. Thank you. Whew. All right, let's keep moving. But that's the thing about it. He's trying to make all this stuff, like these introductions with the title fonts and the way it's shot, like cool and edgy. But it's overload. It's 30 minutes of overload, and it's too many characters. That's the other. There's a lot of characters we've never met before ever on screen. And that's the issue here. We all know Superman and Batman, so you can kind of just run with them. But, when you got idiots like Boomerang and El Diablo and this Rainforest Cafe chick, we don't know what the hell's going on, and we need a proper amount of time to set these characters up. And so so the way they're doing it to try to streamline the whole thing, even if film runs 123 minutes, it's still too much, guys. Where is she? More like, where's the Joker in a film that was heavily advertised as having the Joker? 30-minute mark on that one. That was my big point of contention. The film and the marketing, which was mismarketed, guys, upped the Joker ante big time all over the ads and the posters and everything else.
Maybe in the director's cut there was more.
No, well, C-Mart said barely. There are some more Jokers. There's apparently a lot of Joker footage we'll never see. But the film.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of stuff that cut out. I mean, there's a scene I remember in the trailer where he shows up after the helicopter crash. I'm assuming because he's like half burned up. And that's not in the movie.
Oh shit! No, that's not in the movie at all.
Yeah.
Well, the film is like I thought the Joker was going to be instrumental in the plot, and if you took all the Joker scenes and got rid of them, you wouldn't miss anything. Like he has nothing to do with any of this film, really.
It really has nothing to do with this movie at all.
That's a shame. And what a waste of a character.
That's what I thought about the romance plot with Enchantress. It was so like.
Oh, that's terrible.
Why?
Yeah, we haven't even got to that. Yeah, I know. Yeah, why exactly? All of that chit chat's gonna get you hurt. Not as much as our eyes are hurting from the awful gold jacket Joker is wearing around the 32-minute mark. He's dressed like he's hosting a special event at a strip club. Again, another really bad costuming choice. I guess Cress liked all this crap.
I'm not a fan of the Joker anyway, but I liked his version of it because it was so fucking over the top and crazy. I feel like
I didn't think it was crazy enough. I don't think it was crazy enough.
Over the top and crazy.
No, Heath Ledger I think took it to the next level.
Here's the thing. I felt like he was aware.
Yes, that's the other problem. I think you're right, C-Mart. He was aware. Safe Joker. I'm sorry. C-Mart said safe Joker. You guys said aware. And I think that's the problem.
He didn't go all the way.
I thought it was mediocre, but I wanted to see more of it, so I don't know what that means.
Well, yeah.
Okay,
like, I would watch a movie just about the Joker.
Yeah. I get that. Like, a mediocre movie that you're, like, hoping it gets better.
Brother, I have freed you to become a CGI villain from a Mummy sequel around the 35-minute mark. So I'm going to recap this really quick. Enchantress is held captive because Amanda Waller has her heart, her actual physical heart, in a case. She can't get the heart. As long as she controls the heart, she controls the Enchantress. Enchantress, we should mention, is a very powerful witch that the stupid June Moon character found in the jungle of somewhere, and the Enchantress possessed her body, so she's able to call upon this witch and, come out. But anyway, but the Enchantress gets out on her own, manages to get her brother, who's trapped in another bottle, and then frees him to become the CGI villain Mummy, which was, boy, talk about not finished rendering your characters. That motherfucker and the guy at the end, the El Diablo character, we'll talk about later on, really bad. Yeah, guys, it just
looked like they just took some of the effects left over from the Tron reboot and just sort of like made it into like a person.
Yep.
What I did like about the character, though, was like the effect he had on the environment. I thought that was well done.
Right.
You know, like he was tearing through shit and stuff like that. Like it's just sort of melted with this sort of like glass effect.
Right.
I thought that was
yeah, that's just physical
but
stuff.
the
We'll talk about
character
that.
himself was like weak sauce.
Right. So she gets out and gets her brother and reincarnates her brother, and her brother apparently turns out to be a mummy villain and starts wreaking havoc in Midway City, which is that's a fictional city. Of course, we have to have one of these cities. And as a result,
no way, Chicago.
Yeah, we activate we have the line activate Task Force X. That's what they're known as to clean up a mess by one of its team members before she got a chance to be on the team. How did anyone not see this coming? And Chancer, she's not even really. She never makes the team because she bugs out way before that even they assemble the team. This doesn't make any sense.
People were like shitting on Cara Delevingne and her performance.
She's terrible.
I feel like the fault was on the sound editing.
No, the fault's on her acting.
Oh my god.
And that leads me to my next line. Miss Polton mentioned this earlier. Brother, help me before she kills me. To which the CGI mummy villain transforms the Enchantress into a Vegas showgirl around the 40-minute mark. I traded one bad costume for another. And then she goes back to that creepy Rainforest Cafe villain later on. We'll talk about that when we get to the end of the movie. But yeah, now she's a Vegas showgirl. And it's not getting any better, guys. Let me tell you, if you think we're lying, if you haven't seen this movie yet, 40-minute mark is all yours. Help me build a weapon to wipe them out. A weapon which will open up yet another interdimensional hole in the sky above the city. We've already seen it about 20 past film.
Come on.
I know. I wrote down, is anyone else sick of the dilated anus CGI effect? I said, can't we open up something else? Like a writer's room to come up with better material? Like, all right, look, I'm like 2017 is now. I don't want to see one swirling hole in the sky from now until the end of the year. I swear to God, if The Last Jedi has a swirling hole in the sky, I'm going to burn the fucking theater down. Like, I'm literally going to set fire to yes.
Honor, when we make a film about your life, it's just going to be one gigantic anus scene in the sky.
Polton, we never go.
Dilated anus. I'm not gonna sleep tonight. Oh my god.
Polton, we never.
Dilated anus. Isn't that the bar up by the airport?
Yeah.
Hey, I used to work there.
Hey-o.
Can we just like unpack this for 1 second? So they make a squad of people, right? They're gonna fight crime, but then one of them's like, "Fuck this shit!
Right,
I'm gonna tear
immediately.
the city apart." Like, no one thought that.
That's what I said.
Well, now let's take the other bad guys and make them go after that one bad guy.
I know, which they don't know yet until they get. I know. There's more. And this is the plot. That's what C-Mart said. The movie literally stops at this point, and now we got to just deal with what's in front of us.
This movie makes total sense in our new reality.
Those assholes here yet? They sure are. Now we're going to stop the film once again as everyone suits up in Halloween store costumes, and we introduce 3 more characters that are tossed onto the screen like an impulse purchase at a supermarket checkout line. 42-minute mark. Here we go, guys. Here comes Slipknot, the man who could climb anything. Slipknot is what you play with when your mom spent all of her welfare check on cheap beer and couldn't afford to buy you the Batman action figure. Jesus Christ! What are the odds Slipknot won't survive the next scene? Anyone want to take a guess on that?
I love how they get like one of the only 3 like American, Native American actors in Hollywood to be him, like the guy who dies instantly.
They like promoted him.
I know, like he was a character
in that movie.
You're
oh
right.
My god, it's so gross.
It's 2 scenes. He literally has maybe 2-3 scenes tops. First of all, it's like the guy who can climb anything. This is your team member. A guy who
that's
can literally.
Superpower.
That's your superpower.
It's terrible.
It's
somebody who runs with the Mystery Men. Like.
No, I think we should rewatch Mystery Men, and like I think we might.
This is Mystery Men
with new eyes.
I love Mystery Men. Look, I'm a big folks. I'm telling you, turn off and go watch Mystery Men. It's a film that's 10 times better than this film.
Yeah, way.
It's a great film. It's a great.
Yes.
In fact, that's the comedy version of this, right?
I'm sorry for Adam Beach, though. I mean, this is.
I know.
I know.
It's really bad. And you know what's funny is that he was
Poor
in a
guy.
movie the year before this, in a movie called Diablo.
Oh Jesus.
Where he was also with Scott Eastwood, but Scott Eastwood was the star of that one.
Like he's like Entourage personified.
I don't care. He was decent in this movie. He just looked like a handsome guy with a gun.
You disobey me, you die. Joel Kinnaman as Rick Flag is about as believable as watching a can of Black Flag trying to act.
He starts out as like Midwestern and then goes hard sales and then tries to.
He just like a Rick Grimes.
Moderate.
Yeah, you're right. Rick Grimes. That's funny.
It's like a Will Ferrell character. Like not sure where.
That's just shitty direction, though.
Paul, would you date this guy? No,
yeah.
maybe. All right.
Or
So
would
he,
you date the Joel? Would you date the Joel Kinnaman character from The Killing though?
or how about Slipknot? Would you date?
Stop it.
Guys,
All
I'm
right.
single. I'll date all of them.
Oh, okay. All right. Never. All right. So never
Are
mind.
they
Maybe.
buying dinner? Hold on. Wait.
Yeah.
Employed?
Well,
What's going
I
on?
don't know if the Black Flag
How
guy
close
is.
are they with their mom? Are they too close to their mom?
All
'Cause then
right.
no.
All right. So there's a lot
Are
of.
they not close enough with?
Now you're basically telling me that my sons are never going to get a date because they are super close with me. Is that
Yeah,
what's
you're
gonna
not.
happen?
Yeah, you're not.
How old are
Chris,
your sons? Hold on.
Chris, you just had a
How-
date. Did you have? Yeah. How old? Oh, that's
They're
funny.
11 and 8.
They got to be at least 21.
We some kind of Suicide Squad? Hey-oh! Only had to wait 47 minutes into the running time to hear the title. Thank you. Title of this turd. Will Smith, why does he have to be the one to say that? Because he's Will Smith and he probably wanted to say. They probably gave it to
He's
him.
the protagonist, and I don't know why, but he is.
You know what I really hated though was his beard. I really had an issue with that. I don't know why, but he looked homeless, like a homeless man, like that one.
He has hobo beard.
Yeah, he's a hobo beard. Yeah, yeah, it's terrible.
Again, it just made me want Hancock sequence.
Yeah, I liked Hancock a lot, actually.
No,
yeah.
I want a Hancock.
Yeah, I wish he would do that.
Make a sequel to that. It was a great movie.
I understand why he doesn't do stuff like that because it's more interesting.
With or without Charlize.
This is Katana. She's gonna be your chef tonight at the Kobe Japanese Steakhouse. Who is this bitch? She's got a mask and a sword, and we're just supposed to say, okay.
No, her sword is supposed to take the
Oh,
soul.
here we go. Yeah, I know.
Yes.
Anybody? Yeah, it's a fart cloud that comes out of the fucking
Joel
sword.
Kinnaman's backup. She's his bodyguard.
I was so confused by this point, like just randomly throwing characters in. So now we got this bitch who's got a sword. It doesn't make any sense. But anyway, she jumps on the plane. They're going into Midway City to stop this threat, which is Enchantress and her brother hanging out and fucking shit up and starting this hole in the sky we're going to talk about hanging there. So they're sent in to do that on a helicopter. We're okay. We, however, are not okay if we're supposed to believe all of these idiots survived a helicopter crash without so much as a scratch. These guys are not metahumans. You understand that? Not one of them has, or at least the one maybe is a metahuman, but they don't have any invincibility. They would have been injured. At least Harley Quinn probably would have been killed.
Two that are metahumans, Killer Croc and Diablo.
Okay. Yeah, but both of them don't have healing properties like they wouldn't have survived the crash.
That doesn't make someone a metahuman healing properties. It makes them more than human.
Of all of those people, Killer Croc might have survived the crash. The rest of them probably not so much. At least not with any broken bones. This doesn't make any. Margot Robbie weighs 90 pounds.
Ass 25 times in this
film.
film.
She weighs 90 pounds.
Gigantic objects that would have crushed her skull and nothing happens. It's a comic book, Honor. It's a
comic. No, but you gotta be grounded in some kind of reality. That's bullshit.
Like,
that's not right.
Like some explanation.
You have to have some. You have to ground it in some kind of reality. And even air was
into a vat of acid.
All right, we're not. All right, we're not. It's not acid. It was chemicals. It was not acid. Guys, really?
Like the sex scene in acid.
All right. Hey. Okay. Back it. All right. We're not there yet.
There's too many things to get hurt there.
Now that's a killer app. Say goodbye to the underrated Slipknot around the 52-minute mark, guys. We hardly knew you. So he's the first. So what? Boomerang, Captain Idiot, tries to talk him into splitting, and Slipknot is the first to deflect. We should mention that they all had Escape from New York implants in their neck, explosive implants. So if they tried to escape, they can hit a button on your iPhone and blow up somebody's head. Slipknot, first to go, only one to go, as a matter of fact. That's the end of him.
That's the weird thing. Like, they didn't make a very big deal about that being a factor.
He climbed 2 buildings, guys. He climbed one building and then was trying to climb another, and he got killed.
And that was it.
Rick, why do they look like that? Like a giant CGI blackhead? We'd like to know. 54-minute mark. So the villains turn out to be an army that's created by Enchantress, and they turn into these big black-headed CGI dudes. Crest, what the hell's going on here? Is this where the budget ran out?
Disgusting.
Okay, yeah.
I literally did not understand what
so Paul was
zombies are.
And then it's like a breathing blackhead lava pit head.
Well, it's lava.
It's like,
I don't understand how they see anything. I don't get the thing at all. And then they're made of apparently when you hit them, they turn into shattered glass.
Is it glass or is it lava? It's like hard, like when lava hardens. That's what I thought it was. It was like
liquid when they're moving around.
But
and also
it's not like blinking with eyes.
It
was
doesn't
there
make
blinking on all the eyes. Is that what was happening?
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah.
Gross.
They are like from a Biore commercial.
Yeah. There's a big action scene that happens here. We're all kind of put to task of taking down these blackhead villains, which are basically transformed from Enchantress. I'll explain in a minute how that happens.
Basically, she makes out with them.
I know. We're hanging her. So anyway, they take him out, and that's and then Mr. Will Smith, Deadshot, says, "Now that's how I cut and run." Unlike the audience, that's a crappy joke. Let's keep going. So anyway, they have a big action scene. It doesn't make any sense. They all take down a shitload of these soldiers. It's an army that is protecting Enchantress because she's creating a big machine in the sky, which is just trash floating around the hole in the sky to wipe out the world. You know how this goes, folks. Now you belong to my army. And there you go, Chris. Is Enchantress kissing each one of these soldiers to create the blackheaded? Talking about passing on
making out with them.
I know.
She's basically a walking goddess STD.
Yeah, that's what I said. Talking along, 59-minute mark. Yeah, passing along an STD is pretty fucking gross. But the problem is, if she has to kiss all of them, that's taking her away from the job she's supposed to be doing. Like, it doesn't even logically make sense.
I think basically she's a multitasker. So she can destroy the world and make out and create her own zombie, a lava army. So we should
mention the reason they're in Midway City, folks. When they crash, they have to get a VIP out of the city. That's what their ultimate task is. Not to destroy this thing yet. They don't know that. They have to get a VIP. We don't know who the VIP is. No spoilers. We'll get to that. Who that is.
But let me just say. Well, I'm not going to spoil who the VIP. Well,
yeah, we have to. You can pretty much figure it out
later. That just really grossed me out about what we're talking about right now.
Okay, all right. So then as they're climbing through this building, what's his name? Diablo, we should mention Diablo has, because he wiped out his whole family with this fire starter ability from Drew Barrymore, he won't perform. He won't fucking do it.
But you don't know that, though, until much later.
Yeah, but as a reason. So Mr. Will Smith is tasked with getting him to use his fucking ability to wipe out all these fucking blackheads that are all over the fucking city. And he does that in this building they're trying to climb. And Will Smith says, I was just trying to get you there. Had El Diablo pulled that fire stick out of his ass earlier, this film would have been over by now. He is the most powerful character in the film and could have ended all of this immediately. Yet, we have to have this screenwriting trick not to have him use his fucking power so all these other fucking idiots get screen time who don't have the same amount of power.
Spoiler, but hey, if you could turn into some giant Mayan god, why don't you maybe mention that?
Yeah. Okay, we'll talk about that. Right, exactly. I got to work on my cardio. Cue yet another unnecessary flashback as the Joker and Harley, which almost has no bearing about the Joker and Harley. I'm sorry, which almost has no bearing on the proceedings to the hour and 8-minute mark. This is the one where they fall in the vat, I think, of chemicals that Crest mentioned. Fucking gross.
# romance.
Thank you. You ready? Let's go. Surprising no one that the VIP we just mentioned they're supposed to be rescued would turn out to be the one person who sent him in the first place, which turns out to be Amanda Waller. That's gangster. Film managed to alienate the entire audience by not having one likable character in the entire story. And that has to do with Mr. Diablo wiping out everybody with the fire. No, I'm sorry. This has to do with Viola Davis wiping out all those people in that fucking room. She actually killed all of them. And that's my point, is the film doesn't have a likable character. I think Will Smith, they wanted to make likable. And I think you'd like him by default because he's the least villain of all of them. But like you're saying, C-Mart said that, why weren't they all villains? Deadshot is the villain, right? Yeah, the film wants to have it both ways.
She kills like 6 FBI agents.
She does. Yeah, she wipes them out. And
like I said, she's basically Elise Keating in the DC universe.
Are we going to swing back to that?
I'm sorry. I still can't get over that romance angle they tried to do with Enchantress.
Oh, you still getting over the Rick Flag Enchantress?
So dumb.
They were involved.
That makes no sense at all. Yeah.
Right before Viola Davis fucking murders her whole staff for just being in the room with her because they weren't cleared for any of it.
That doesn't make any sense.
She says to Joel Kinnaman, she says, "How does she do it? Isn't that just amazing? She takes soccer moms and all these different people and then turns them into a perfect soldier. She can create army at will." Like, she is so turned on right now. Like, she would fuck the shit out of Enchantress. She could.
Wow. All right. Wow.
By that, she's the most evil character in the whole. That's
I know. But it's just,
I thought for a second she was gonna start humping that screen with Enchantress on it.
That would have been awesome. That would have been a better film. Better film. This bird is baked. Cue the second CGI helicopter crash around the hour and 50-minute mark. Did the production get a bulk rate on CGI helicopters? A lot of helicopter crashes, guys. A lot of CGI.
They just had that on, standby in their CGI vault. Just multiple helicopter crashers.
So what happens? They get Viola Davis, Miss Amanda Waller, to get her up to the roof, and as they're gonna try to escape, Mr. Joker finally shows up in one of the helicopters to rescue Harley Quinn. He does. But they end up crashing that helicopter, and Harley falls to the ground. And as a result of that, another helicopter to come in to get Amanda Waller. She says, "Stand by, I'll send another helo." but not before we crash a third CGI helicopter in the space of 2 fucking minutes. Yeah, again, lazy filmmaking, lazy screenwriting. But all right, so the Joker goes down. We don't know what happens to him, literally till the end of the film. And spoilers. Harley Quinn survives a fall onto the street, which would have killed her. Again, she's not a metahuman, but all right, we're gonna go with that.
She didn't fall in the street though.
Where
she fell onto a rooftop that was just
yeah, but she would have broke her ankles.
Forward momentum to do, an awesome parkour, tumble and boom.
Parkour. Hey guys, I'm back. To unfortunately annoy us for the remainder of the running time. That's Harley Quinn. She shows up. Now she reconnects with the gang after she...
What? Then her spinoff is really going to annoy you.
Yeah, I know. Tell everybody...
For me on that fall, I'm just going to say this, is that she didn't just break her fucking ankles.
She would have.
She would have.
Oh my God.
Well, that's what I'm saying. The fall would have...
I can't with that.
That was where she's walking around.
I couldn't last 2 seconds in those heels.
I've done it.
I've done it too, and I really hope they're not gonna do that in Wonder Woman.
She would have broke both her ankles, but that's a separate thing. Tell everybody everything. Once again, we're gonna stop the film cold to recap chunks of plot we've already seen. Sigh, I wrote at the hour and 22 minute mark. So Mr. Smith roots around in the crashed helicopter Amanda Waller was in, finds her book that she conveniently left of all the people and what the plan is. He makes Rick Flag, that meth addict, tell everybody what the hell is going on. He does, saying, look, we got to take down Enchant. You know how this goes. I was born with the devil's gift, because instead of just wrapping things up, we're still going to keep unloading backstory and characters we can care less about, which I don't know what they're talking about. I think that's El Diablo who had to give his whole backstory, how he inadvertently killed his wife and kids because his rage got out of control, and he burned up his whole family. He got thrown in jail and burned up, this is how this goes. Normal is a setting on a dryer. And for Warner Brothers, making crappy comic book films like this one. All right, that might have been funnier when I wrote it. What? So basically, they have not a meet cute, but they have a meeting instead of a bar, which like we're doing right now. And they all started getting tanked up. Not really, a couple beers. A couple shots, and they decided to keep going with the end of the film, which has to do with taking down Enchantress and her brother. We're getting there, folks. Hang in there. Hole in the sky, remember? What? You got something better to do? Actually, yes, we got plenty of other things to do rather than watch the climax of this turd, but here we are. That's your old lady, huh? Hula hooping in front of a green screen around the hour and 33 minute mark. Yep, that it is. Rick Flag's girlfriend up there just dancing away. She is.
Quit watching this movie
what?
right about now.
What do you quit?
I just turned it off.
You take a break? You take a poop break?
And then today was my last day at my job, and the first thing I did was went home and I stood anxiously on the other side of my room for the last 30 minutes and just watched this movie.
Yeah, it's really the last standing. Okay, all right. So
I was hula hooping.
Okay.
For the giant magic machine.
I know what you want, and what we don't want are more fantasy sequence when we're trying to wrap up this turd. So basically, she's kind of hypnotized. So the genesis is the brother is kind of a guard. She's creating the machine, which is almost completed, folks, and they're all kind of there trying to stop her with the bomb. And there's a whole bunch of shit going on. She's kind of playing with their fucking minds, or fucking with their minds, I should say. Telling them stuff that they don't really want. Let me show you what I really am. El Diablo transforms into a CGI build of what looks like a totem pole in an Indian casino that accidentally caught on fire at the hour and 38 minute mark. When you can barely tell your CGI creatures apart from each other in a climactic battle, you know your film blows. Why are they both orange?
Why do both look like logos from cheap Tijuana fucking Mexican restaurants? Like somebody just had like way too much Mexican food on set. Like, dude, this is gonna be it. This is what we're fucking going
all
with.
Filmed in Mexico. You're right. You're absolutely. They both look horrible.
Like somebody thought they were like doing a tribute to the Mayans and the Aztecs. And
I
then
don't
it just
know
turned
what's
into
going
super
on.
Racist crap.
It's
It's a logo from a bottle of tequila.
Yeah. 2 bottles of tequila fighting it out in the middle of Midway City.
Diablo is basically the fireball.
Yeah, it's a tequila.
All we need to defeat it is some ranchada.
Yeah.
There you go.
We gotta cut her heart out. But not before another dumb action scene where the Enchantress leaps around like a CGI Yoda from Attack of the Clones. So she reverts back to her old shitty burnt out Rainforest Cafe self. and starts taking everything. And then we have to have a fight scene just to give these guys something to do because they're really not a match for anything going on here, except for that Diablo guy. He gets killed. We should mention that. Oh, no, not yet. We're not there yet. Oh, no, we are there. Yeah, she blows up they set off the bomb at the exact moment the two of them are in a corner and kills El Diablo. Thank God he died. We'll have to see him again. The brother dies, too. You bring June back or I'll crush this. I swear I'll crush this Hobby Lobby straw heart. A cheap prop. Sorry, that was my bullet point on that one. So they get June Moon back.
Well, I don't know. Hobby Lobby is pro-life, so.
So we get June Moon back. Kind of a happy ending. They do save the city. Amanda Waller conveniently, after being attacked and tortured by the Enchantress, shows up completely intact. Rick Flag says, I'm sorry, it was Deadshot. How are you not dead? Because we have to be threatened with a sequel to this nonsense. Unfortunately, Mel Gibson, we're looking at you on that one. Let's go home. Film ends with a barely seen Joker busting Harley out of her Louisiana prison. Does anyone care at this point what happens to her? My God,
She's getting her own movie.
Yeah, Amanda Waller doesn't set them free. We should mention that, folks. She ends up, they all have to continue their prison sentence with less time, which Captain Boomerang.
And that's kind of fucked up.
It was really fucked up.
Why couldn't they? I mean, I would have negotiated. First thing I would have negotiated for, fuck this hellhole we're in. Like, I want to fucking stay at like an embassy suite or some shit.
Yeah, but they don't have any. What are they gonna negotiate with?
Well, I know, but they just say the city.
Blow our
just
fucking heads off. Nobody's gonna come rescue you next time a fucking god opens up an anal hole in the sky.
You know what? She is the type of anal hole
to
say.
But guys, you gotta remember.
What? If it works, it's my word against yours.
Guys, you gotta remember though, when she showed up back on screen,
she's the like anti-hero that we all need in these.
No,
times.
when she showed up back on screen, she's holding the iPhone, which can blow their heads up. There's 5 of them there, or 6 of them. They all could have taken her, got that thing out of her hand, killed her, and broke the phone. Like there was an easy way out of this. Why didn't they do that? That's bullshit. They could have escaped. They could have all gotten out of there in Captain Boomerang and his fucking nonsense. But no, they're all back in it.
I don't know. It's Viola Davis. I would not fuck her.
Crest on credits. What do we got after that?
Okay, so it's like nothing at first, and like halfway through the credits, you see a little Suicide Squad logo come up, and then the Joker's like, and you hear him laughing. Stupid.
What
and
Joker?
Then it's literally another restaurant scene
with
Viola
Jesus
Davis.
Christ.
And this time she's meeting with Bruce Wayne. He says some weird thing to her. Did you bring it? Whatever. So she hands over a file basically on the Justice League guys.
Oh God.
And she's like, "What do you want this for?" And he's like, whatever, I'm gonna, do something with my friends. And then she says, you should stop working nights. And he's like, you should shut it down. My friends and I will take care of it.
He switches to the Batman voice.
Come on.
Oh, really? That's poor
okay.
Ben.
Oh no, my vote is for Viola to be the new Batman.
Oh my God, this film, guys. Jesus, I think I passed 2 kidney stones just doing this show tonight. It's one of the worst DCEU films easily of the 3 they've done.
Yeah, but didn't you pay money to see this in the theater?
I did. I actually saw it in the theater, and I regret that. And we all went, and then we just like because it's a train wreck.
I did not.
I thought it looked good, and honestly, this movie could have been good.
Were you on a date though, Polton?
It could have been a good movie, and it wasn't, and it's a bummer.
Polton, were you on a date or were you by yourself? You were on a date though, weren't you?
No.
Oh, you went and saw this by yourself?
Oh, I did see the movie Split on a date, and I can tell you right now that is not a good date movie.
No, that's not a good date movie.
That?
Yeah, what loser took you to that? Yeah, don't do that. That's not a film.
That person is probably actually the Craigslist killer. Don't ever see that person again.
Well, I'm not going to, but
okay, all right. Paul, didn't we just go over this with I Know You Who Killed Me? Didn't we already talk about this like a couple shows ago? Yeah, exactly. You should have learned your lesson.
I never learned my lesson.
You never learned your lesson. All right. There you go, folks. That is Suicide Squad for this week. We took it out and played with it a lot longer show. Can we flush it, ladies and gentlemen? Can we please flush it?
Oh, get it out of here.
Guys, you have one job to come up with one decent joke.
Fucking flush this piece of shit.
Well, you don't anger.
No, flush it to wherever Bane comes from.
Yeah. Okay.
If Bane was in this movie, I would have been super excited.
Yeah, we should have Bane in this one. All right, folks. There you go. Consider it flushed. That is it for this week. I want to thank my lovely co-host, Matt Flushers, Midwest Movie Mogul, Colleen Griffin, Raging Buddha Bee Movie Queen, Nora Crest, and Sassy Cinephile, Sarah Polton. Great job, ladies, as always. Thank our very special guest, our extended co-flusher this time out, C-Mart from the Brotherhood of Evil Geeks. Great job, sir. We appreciate your insights on this one.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. We hope to have you back again for some other
for more horrible movies.
Well, you know, the funny thing is we did this one, but we had you guys on for Sinister Squad, which is basically the same movie. It's the same fucking movie at this point. So we can't win. We can never get out of this nonsense. So we'll be back probably for either Wonder Woman or probably Justice League. I think that one's going to be the worst of the bunch. Yeah, as DCEU rolls on, unfortunately. We'll see how it goes. But we're going to be back next week to torture you guys with something else. Until then, say goodbye, ladies and gentlemen.
Bye.
Bye.
There you go.
Hi, this is Nora Crest, and I want to thank you for listening this week and every week as we flush these turds down our cinematic bowl here in the restroom. If you haven't already, please subscribe to us on iTunes and Google Play Music so we attract more listeners and you don't miss a single episode. We love feedback, so email us at signalsoffury@gmail.com with your comments and suggestions for future flushes. Also, be sure to check out our home restroom on the net, signalsoffury.com. Until next time, remember, we're here to flush it so you don't have to see it. I'm Nora Crest, and this has been the award-winning Soiled Restroom Cinema.